Hello and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today on the show we're going to demystify a brand new browser. It just came out in October of this year, 2010. No, it's not Firefox. No, it's not Ferrari. It's not Ferrari.
That much is clear.
And it's not Chrome. Can you imagine? What is it?
Safari?
Internet Explorer 9.
Oh, Windows stuff.
Windows stuff. Yeah, but I mean, let's face it, Windows has the dominant market share of the browser market. Now, once upon a time, it was 90%, more than 90%. And then along came Chrome, along came Safari, and along came Firefox, of course. Mm-hmm. And now they're down below 60%. Mm-hmm. Right? So Microsoft's got to do something to make sure that they get they retain control over the browser market. And so IE9, Internet Explorer 9, is their latest offering. Came out in public beta just a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Due out when it's ready. I can tell you it's not ready yet, as you'll see shortly. But it's has some promise.
Okay. So
we're going to go through the key features of it, try not to let it crash on us too much, and see if it has a future.
Promises.
I know. All right. So excited? Yes, you're excited. I can tell. Look at the expression.
Of course, I'm thrilled. Absolutely thrilled beyond belief.
And you're wearing your favorite browser shirt.
Yes.
Something like that.
Or something.
All right. So let's take a break. And when we come back, IE9 beta preview today on
Lab Rats.
Well, welcome back to Lab Rats. Don't forget, if you want to buy a domain for your website or you want a vanity email address, zip on over to hover.com, our favorite new domain purchase site.
Yes.
Sponsor of this show. And we're going to give you 10% off if you want to try it out. Buy a domain, get your vanity email address, a bunch of other stuff over there.
Can I go there and register IE9 as a buggy piece of beta?
.com? Yeah, you can actually, as it turns out.
Right.
Unless they don't beat you to it.
They might have. They always say, register the domains that talk crap about your product, because you might need them.
Like IE9sucks.com?
Yeah.
Well, hop on over and see if that's available. Here's a 10% coupon, LabRats, to help you along your way. Okay, so check it out, hover.com.
Great.
All right, so let's talk about IE9.
Yes.
So, of course, in the world of browsers, Microsoft is the dominant #1 player, as I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. Internet Explorer is their flagship browser. Mm-hmm. We're in version 9, which is amazing. Some successes along the way. I would count the last version as IE8 as probably one of their top successes in terms of browser innovations.
Yeah, it did do a lot of stuff that it fixed a lot of things that people were complaining about beforehand.
Its predecessor, it was never IE7, but IE6 was a big dog.
Yeah, not so good.
No. And so now here we are at version 9. And I got to say, I'm going to take you through some key pieces of it. Impressive, some key features I think people will like. I think the big story, though, here, and I can't even show this to you because it's just an experience, and that's speed. Mm-hmm. IE8 was a bit of a dog. And even Firefox has kind of got to that point where it's a little slow and laggy.
Yes.
And Chrome came along, Google Chrome came along, and lean, clean browser, super fast rendering, that sort of thing.
I think that's not just the experience of browsers as well, but the experience of operating system from Microsoft's perspective anyways. Vista turned into this gigantic, bloated thing that tried to do everything for everybody, and consequently it was slow. And the experience with Google Chrome, the browser, was just strip out all that stuff, and with Windows 7, the new operating system, is just strip out all the stuff you don't really need and make it lean.
That's true.
So.
Well, one of the nice things about what they've done here is they've actually harnessing hardware acceleration. So they're actually talking directly to the graphics card through Windows 7 or through Windows Vista to improve the browsing and rendering speed.
Okay, what does it do with XP?
No XP.
Wait, I can't even get this for XP?
You cannot get this for XP. And good, and good for Microsoft. I mean, that's a bit of a ballsy move, I think, because frankly, if you're still developing for a platform that is now more than 10 years old, it's kind of dumb. Like, how can you have a modern experience, in the world of in the internet when your browser and your operating system is 10 years old?
Well, this has always been one of Microsoft's big liabilities, I think, in the world of computing, is they've tried to deal with all of the legacy code as well as bringing people into something new, which means that you always had things that had so much stuff for past generations, and that's why Windows 7 is now a success, and why something like Mac's OS X was a success. They got rid of all the old and just went with the new and forced people just get on with it.
It's going to force people to abandon their old stuff. People are going to complain.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, and you should be, if you're going to be a Windows user, be on Windows 7, get IE9. It's the right thing to do.
Yes.
And now, with all due respect for those of you out there clinging onto your old gear, I totally get it. Don't want to spend any money, but eventually you're going to have to, upgrade. It's just the reality of it. So I applaud Microsoft for that. Now, in terms of the experience, been using this for a few days now. I do like it. It is, the hardware acceleration is vastly improved. I will warn you though, it's a public beta. I'm running on a virtual, parallels on top of Mac hardware. And I think that's got to be part of the problem, but it seems to be a bit buggy, crashy, and that sort of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it crashes on us during this demo.
That's the problem with all betas, especially when you're dealing with an open sort of platform like the Windows universe, where you can have a whole pile of different configurations of hardware and software on board that thing. That's right. So this may not be stable for you yet.
Yes. And so again, with lots of warnings out there, if you do choose to go to Microsoft.com/IE9 and go and download this, be aware it may crash. So do it on a machine that's not mission critical.
Yeah, and don't uninstall your other browsers.
No, exactly. Okay, so let's talk a little about the design. So speaking of Chrome, okay, Chrome was this beautiful stripped down browser, and really the IE9 team has taken a page out of their book, and they've really done a beautiful job in terms of the interface design here.
And they've gotten rid of all the frou-frou and the dingles.
Yeah, if you look up here, there's a new address bar. All the old widgets that the kill, refresh, and that sort of thing are all integrated into what they call this one box up here. The tabs are now much more elegant. There's this nice little tab experience, on recent things you visited. I'll talk a little bit more about tabs in a minute because there's a nice little experience on that. Up here, the left and right button, forward and back browsing. What's a little cool feature there where if you are on a web page that has a fav icon, it'll adopt the color of the fav icon. So for example, if I call it butterscotch here, you can see it's grabbed the butterscotch color from the butterscotch bee.
Very nice. So that will change depending on where you are.
On where you are, exactly, which is kind of is a dumb little feature, but I think it's kind of fun.
It's not so dumb.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes it's all about the candy, right?
Yes.
Taking a page out of Apple's book there.
Yes.
And again, by default they hide all these menus. You have to right-click and turn the menus on. But the experience is very elegant, very simple, and I'm really, quite impressed by their design.
It doesn't give you anything you don't necessarily need right off the bat.
Right.
Okay.
Let's start with no toolbars. Let's start with everything stripped down, and then let you add and have that experience. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about. HTML5, we did this in a previous episode.
Yeah, this was one of the big liabilities of the previous generations of this. It was one of the only browsers not to support it in any fashion until this.
Up until this. Now they've built full HTML5 integration into this, and I think they're using the new logo, the beauty of the web. Right. They really are trying to take the best of websites and kind of present it in a very compelling way. Forget about the browser, push the browser into the background. And bring the content forward, and I think that's a wise move from their perspective as well.
So Arcade Fire's The Wilderness downtown site will now work in this as well, as we saw before.
Yeah, so if
in Safari.
Exactly. So, yeah, if you guys want to have a really great HTML5 site experience, and go check this out. This is thewildernessdowntown.com, and it's designed with Google Chrome in mind, which is pretty interesting. But this should render just fine as we go through that. So.
Okay, so HTML5, good to go. How about Flash?
Better Flash integration.
Okay.
Now, I haven't done an enormous amount of digging around in terms of Flash, but the reviews I've read said, Flash integration vastly improved, much more stable performance. It's got something to do with probably the hardware acceleration, rendering graphics and that sort of thing. I think you'll find that's a better experience as well. So they really have worked on the mechanics and a lot of work behind the scenes, the nuts and bolts of this to make it a better browser.
Right.
One of the features that I think we've seen before, but I want to sort of demonstrate here is something called pinned sites. And as you can see right down here on the bottom, this is a Windows 7 feature only. There is a butterscotch window here, and there's a Twitter window down the bottom as well. So what I've done is I've just grabbed the icon from the bar here, and I've dragged it all the way down. Now what happens, I've got a separate browser experience in its own window. So now the browser, this website, is an option that you can click on separately as if it's its own application.
Okay, so you could pin applications to the taskbar before, and now you can do that with websites as well.
Websites as well. And you remember the jump lists, which they introduced into Windows 7, where you right-click on something and you have a list of things. You have jump lists that are, and especially some websites that are enabled for jump lists, special tasks affiliated with the website.
Okay.
That's available now when you pin your website down to the bottom as well.
Very good.
Okay. Talked about one box before, so I don't really want to go into that that integrated thing. One thing I did want to mention though is up here you're going to see a little new icon, and this is compatibility view. So let's say that you're on a website that is older, doesn't take advantage of some of the new HTML functionality, or it just looks kind of weird, it renders oddly. You can actually click on this button here, which is called compatibility view, and it basically takes you to an old rendering engine to make the website look the way it was originally designed.
So like Windows has this feature bundled in the back so that you can run in a compatibility mode for an older operating system. So this is the same except for the web.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's exactly what it is. It's like let's make it work the way it was supposed to work using the technology originally designed when it was first introduced.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of a way back machine going back and using it in the way it was supposed to be used. Yeah. So there's a button here. You click on that, and then it basically re-renders the page in a way that it was originally supposed to, so that it fixes out-of-place stuff and mismatched graphics and that kind of thing.
And when all these protocols change, websites can look a little bit wonky. So
yeah, exactly.
Good.
Let's talk about this. One of the really nice engineering feats they've done here is they've got a new download manager. So when you download a piece of software, let's say you zip on over to 2cows.com, for example, which of course is...
As I do.
As you do often, given we run that site now. Let me see if I can find a product here, the top 100.
All right.
And I'm going to grab Cygate Personal Firewall. So as you can see, so I've just clicked on the Download Now button, and it says, do you want to run, say, this product, or what do you want to do with it? And you can either just choose to run it directly, because you just downloaded it, or you can say Save, and there's a little pull-down box to say Save As, Save and Run.
Okay. So it's save to the default location or save to a specific location.
Right, or save and execute it if you want to do that.
Okay. And this used to pop up in the middle of your screen as a big box, a dialog alert.
This will do the same thing, except what it does first, it does a scan, and then what you can see here is so I've pulled this up, you can show the location where it's put it, so that's nice, it's handy, right? It actually does a virus scan on the fly, built in directly, and then it gives you an option to run it as well. And of course the clear list button, the close, and that sort of thing. So it's an improved version of the download manager. It does an automatic antivirus product. Cursory doesn't mean that you can exclude, antivirus, anti-spyware protection on your machine, but it's one other layer, and it's just a nice way to track your downloads at this point.
Very good.
Okay, and there's a nice little search download feature there too to make it.
So in case you've downloaded a ton of stuff and can't remember where something is in your list, you can narrow it down.
That's right, exactly.
Very good.
Good. I talked a little bit about new tab control. Nice thing here, if you have a website, you've got a bunch of tabs open, one of the tabs is crashed. It doesn't crash the entire browser, it just crashes the tab. You can right-click on the tab and say, close this tab only, right? As opposed to having to completely restart your browser with all your, which is really nice. The other thing that I quite like about this is it has a tearaway tab feature. So if you, really want to grab some content, let's say we're going to go to 2cows here, and I want to put this in a separate window, save it separately from my other browsing session. I'm just going to click on the tab and drag it outside the window, and it's going to create a new browser window.
So it's just like...
content. Let me save this over here. Let's deal with this and push this aside, that sort of thing. So it's kind of, it's a tearaway kind of feature, which I really was quite impressed with.
Good.
And then finally, just one thing that I think you'll appreciate is performance functionality here. When you add in all kinds of toolbars and add-ons and that sort of thing into your browser, and then over time the browser gets slower and slower and slower.
Oh yeah, I got the Yahoo toolbar, and I've got the Google toolbar, and the Microsoft toolbar, and then all these funny emoticons popping up all over the place, and then I've got a special download manager, and then a special PDF button up there.
Well, all of that is taking time about starting up your browser as well. If you start the browser, wait, load. Okay, now my browser's going. So this has a way to analyze that. I'm going to click on the Tools menu, and I'm going to come on down here to Toolbars. I'm going to click on Disable Add-ons.
Okay.
All right. So what you're going to see now is the Add-on Performance Analyzer. And what it shows is the add-on that's running. It shows how many seconds it takes for it to start up when the browser starts up.
That's a lot.
So 0.3 seconds, right? And then it has a nice little alarm that says when the total add-on time is greater than 0.2 seconds, 0.3 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it is.
Oh, you can auto-disable it?
Yeah, well, it will alert you. It'll say, this add-on is taking too long. You have a disable all functionality, and you can actually disable the items one by one as well.
So this could be useful in case you're using an add-on that is reliant on a very specific site, like, say, Twitter, that goes down every so often. And then it can cause your browser to hang. Is this saying, hey, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Come on, pay attention to me. Meanwhile, nothing else is loading.
That's exactly it. So nice little feature here, kind of hidden away deep inside of IE9, but definitely worth a look, especially if you tend to add toolbars and things like that. And that, my friend, is IE9 beta.
Sounds good. So
like that.
Is it good to go then? Have you stopped it from crashing yet?
I would say that it's still early days at this point. You know, you want to install it if you're brave, if you have a non-mission critical machine. It'll get there though. I think it's going to be will be enough to get IE saved and to stave off the competition. I don't know about that, but good job, Microsoft, as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we've got a clip of the week and, of course, your pictures as well. That's after this. Well, browsers aren't just for desktop computers anymore. Of course, they are available on your smartphone. And in our 60-second app preview today, we're going to look at the Opera mobile browser. And let's take a look.
Welcome to On Deck. I'm Matt Harris.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman.
Welcome to the A-List.
Hi, welcome to Miss Download.
For the longest time, the only browser option on the iPhone was Safari. Opera Mini somehow made it through the iTunes approval process and is now available as an alternate browser on your iPhone. The experience bests Safari in many ways. It's much quicker, and it doesn't seem as resource intensive. I really like the speed dial intro screen. Here you can put your 9 most commonly visited sites front and center. To add a new speed dial, just tap on a blank button and add the URL you want to make a favorite.
Well, if you want to see the entire 60 seconds of that 60-second app,
I do.
Zip on over to butterscotch.com.
I'm busy. I'm doing a show right now.
I know, but you can do it afterwards. 60-second app is the show. We have zillions of apps we've reviewed there. Only 1 minute of your time. You can see the entire 60 seconds, and we'll give you the thumbs up, thumbs down on that on apps for iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry as well.
Now, to be fair, it might take you a minute and 1 or 2 seconds to press the play button and all that other stuff. So
that's very true. Fair enough. All right, we should give you that caveat. All right, but so when you're, well, you can go to butterscotch.com later, but because first we have picture time.
yes, we have one picture today for you.
One picture today.
Yeah, from one of our regular contributors, Jack Rumpel.
Jack Rumpel, I know that name.
Yeah, he's the one that sent us the pizza box laptop cooling stand.
Right.
And has sent us
that.
one since, but now he's sent us a picture of his mom's. And this is in Reno, Nevada at the Air Show. And he says that he actually sends links to our show, especially the food demos, to his mom to help her understand technologies she needs to know about.
Do we know Jack Rumpel's mom's name?
Mom.
Mom.
Yes.
Jack Rumpel's mom, hi from Lab Rats. How are ya? Nice picture.
There you go.
Cool, that's a cool Hawaiian shirt.
That is.
I love it.
It looks like something you might wear.
In fact, maybe we can share it, we can trade. Because
All
I
right.
have really nice ones too. All right. Thank you. If you would like to send your picture or your video or an email to us, you can send it to.
You don't need to wear a Hawaiian shirt or be somebody's mom to send your picture to LabRats at labrats.tv.
There you go. Lots to spell there. Probably some punctuation in there. Might not get to us, so more simply.
People should learn how to type these things because it's important.
It is.
How about feedback at labrats.tv?
Feedback at
instead?
labrats.tv will be.
Go the wussy route.
All right, so that's it for us this week. Thanks for pushing play out there, because it'd be foolish for us to be sitting here messing around with beta software if you weren't out there going, I'm not installing that yet. My name's Andy Walker.
And I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you next time.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we've got a clip of the week and, of course, your pictures as well. That's after this.
Made it through.
Yeah, it didn't crash.
One crash.
You want to stop that? Actually, that's good though, because we can show that, right? Like it's the fact that it did crash once. It's like, yeah, it does crash.
Yeah.
Here it is.